got time for maybe two more questions. And you mentioned a few moments ago about engaging with executives after board meetings or company meetings. So I think a relevant question would be, my company is very good about engaging with users. Our retention is suffering and we need to start engaging with executives at our enterprise customers. How would you recommend we go about that? Is it simply, having a follow-up meeting with them, after company-wide discussion? What does that look like?
Yeah, executive engagement can take a lot of different forms. It can take unstructured form and it can take structured form. An unstructured form might be an executive to an executive outreach, right? Especially if a customer is having a certain problem, or if your retention with a certain customer is suffering, or you think it's going to suffer, then that outreach might be good. And that's kind of in an unstructured way. A more structured way might be to have an executive sponsor program, which is excuse me, it's more of a formal program where you assign an executive sponsor in your company to engage with the executive sponsor in the client company. And maybe they engage 3 times a year. Every 4 months, they have a one-to-one call and they're engaging. Another way to do that is executive business reviews. I talked about EBRs before, right? Quarterly business reviews might engage with users, or influencers, but an executive business review is typically with the executive level people in the company. It's got a little bit of a different focus than a quarterly business review, but it's a scheduled, structured event. And probably the last one I would say would be a customer advisory board. Another great way to have structured engagement with multiple companies, executives at one time.
Sure. And one thing I want to add to that as well, this doesn't have to be just for the enterprises. It could be, on a smaller scale where it's the CEO of a small organization interacting with the CEO or maybe their lieutenants.
Absolutely.
Kind of, not just for the enterprise, but for your customers, large and small.